Welcome to Penny for Your Shots, conversations and cocktails with brilliant women. I'm your host, Penny Fitzgerald, and I believe the best stories are the ones shared over a glass of wine or a cocktail. Each week, I sit down with women who've said yes to building something meaningful, often after years of putting everyone else first. We talk business, big dreams, and the mess in between. And of course, a few favorite drinks. So grab a glass, get comfy, and let's pour ourselves into Penny for Your Shots. This week's conversation is your reminder to take the trip. I met today's guest, Laura Rahn, through one of my friends from the old wine business days, Judy Bower-Taylor, who also happened to work with Laura back in her teaching career. I love when life and wine brings people together like that. Good women connecting good women. It's kind of my favorite thing. Laura is a former teacher turned travel coach. And after hearing her stories, the cross-country moves, the road trip playlists, the family adventures, you're going to feel that little tug on your heart that whispers, it's time to make a memory. Laura believes something I feel so deeply. Experiences matter more than stuff. It's the laughter in the car, the bookstore you stumble into, the cocktail you share at sunset. Those moments become the ones we carry with us. And that includes the trips you take with your girlfriends, too. You know, like wine camp. If you've been waiting for a sign, consider this it. So pour a glass, settle in, and enjoy this beautiful conversation with Laura. A reminder that connection, adventure, and shared experiences are some of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves and the people we love. Here is Laura Rahn. So nice to meet you.
You too. I was so happy that Judy could connect us.
I know. Okay, so you guys lived together or lived nearby each other in Virginia, correct?
Yes, we worked. I worked, we both worked for Loudoun County Public Schools.
Okay.
Yes. And so I got to know her through that. And we weren't extremely close, but we worked, side by side-ish for about 7 years.
Oh, wow.
And I was on a call with some of my good friends who are also her good friends. And we were all there. And then she's like, I have someone you should talk to.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So are you still in Loudoun County?
Yes.
Okay, but no longer working for the school system. Is that correct?
Correct. I was with the school system for 33 years.
Wow.
I was a classroom teacher for 26 years. And then I became an instructional coach and worked with administrators and teachers for 7 years.
Oh, wow.
And then I felt like it was time to chase one of my other passions. So I retired from teaching.
Oh, good for
And
you.
instead of just traveling during the summer, I can now travel whenever I want to. And my husband just retired, so now we can do that. And I went from being an instructional coach for 7 years to becoming a travel coach.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so backing up just a second, the instructional coach, I have recently talked to 2 other women who do that. It's very important work. That's really cool to collaborate and to bring teachers together and provide more resources for the kids.
Yep.
Love that. So how did that translate into the travel realm then?
So I've always loved to travel. And I was born a military brat. And so, my dad was in the Air Force for 21 years. So up until high school, I lived in probably 10 different places.
Oh my.
And so we were always, including 3 years in Naples, Italy during my high school years, which was amazing. I think that's where my passion for travel sort of got ignited. I was a teenager living in Italy, going to an American high school, but still exploring and having independence and stuff and seeing the different cultures and the different ways people live. And so graduated from high school, went to Virginia Tech, became a teacher, settled in Loudoun County, met my husband, also a teacher, had 2 daughters. And so we had our summers free. And I continued to travel. We went to Disneyland or Disney World a whole lot. But then once the girls got a little bit older, we expanded. We went to Belize and Hawaii and Alaska and explored countless national parks. And I just love to travel. And so being an instructional coach, I got all of the very intensive coaching training through the school system. How to work with adults, how to ask questions, how to mediate thinking, how to support people and help them rather than give them answers. And so I was getting ready to retire, and my husband was just sort of scrolling the internet and found a CNN article about travel coaches. And he's like, "Is this you?" And I read it, and it introduced me to the Travel Coach Network, which I had never heard of before. And you become certified as a travel coach through their program. And so much of the training was similar to what I had done as far as working with adults and how to be an active listener and how to support people in getting to their why and their hopes and their dreams and everything. And so I applied to the program and I completed it. And I am a certified travel coach with the Travel Coach Network. I am also a member of the Family Travel Association. And I have started my business. My husband and I had a mantra through our years. We've been married for 27 years almost, and had a mantra where seldom a dull moment. You need to relax a little bit, but we are just very busy people. We're always looking for the next adventure, the next fun thing to keep us connected and to do together. So when I retired, became a travel coach, I started our business, Seldom a Dull Moment.
That's your name. Oh, that's how you came to the name.
Yep. That's how I came to the name. Exactly.
Well, that fits. That's so true. And so many people, we feel like we're too busy. We keep ourselves busy, and that keeps us safe, but small. We don't see the world. We don't do those things that are on our, are nagging at our soul to do.
Yeah.
Wow.
We when I went to college for 4 years, that was the longest I had ever lived or stayed anywhere.
Oh my goodness.
Because my dad's Air Force tours were anywhere from 9 months to 3 years at the most. So we were always moving at least every 3 years.
Wow.
And we landed in Virginia. He retired. And then I went to school and ended up in Loudoun County. And as a mom and a teacher, very, very busy. Yes. And being pulled in 100 different directions with the girls growing up and their activities and everything. And my daughters are now 23 and 25.
Okay.
And I knew, though, if they were going to live in this place and go to kindergarten with the people they were going to graduate from high school with, I wanted to make sure they still saw the world.
Wow.
And they still knew what else was out there, because that's what I had experienced. And I wanted them to have that experience. I also wanted them to have a hometown.
Yeah. A different type of stability.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
And so we just traveled and we used the summers. We didn't travel all summer by any means because we were two teachers. And, that's not possible financially. But we figured out a way to take these really big trips every summer.
Yeah. So it's what you prioritize, right? I mean, it's what's important.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what I love, talking to other families. And I work with couples and solo travelers also. But I love talking to people about, what do you want? And how can we help you? How can I help you make that happen? I'm not pushing the buttons. I'm not making the bookings. I'm not a travel agent. I'm more of their partner, their coach.
Okay.
Helping them figure out how to get to that dream vacation.
Okay.
Yeah.
I imagine some people don't even know. They just may have a bug that I want to go somewhere, but I have no idea where to go.
Those are the best clients to work with. And that's one of the things the Travel Coach Network emphasizes is, transformative travel. But you don't have to have your destination picked to work with a travel coach, because we start, my method is dream, design, depart. So when I meet with my clients first, we just talk about their dreams.
Yeah.
why do you want to travel? Or maybe they don't even know they want to travel, but they want
Mm-hmm.
something transformative. And so we really dig deep into those dreams. If you could wave your magic wand and have this
Mm.
great vacation, what would it look like? Why would it look that way? And
Mm-hmm.
then we move into that design piece where then if they want to move forward with traveling,
Mm-hmm.
then we move into designing and again talking about, well, what would it look like? What do you want to do? How do you want to feel when you come back? What do you want to tell your friends about after you return? And then also all the way up to helping them depart.
Okay.
Yeah,
But you don't actually book the trip for them.
correct. My
Okay.
my role and what we talk about in the Travel Coach Network is to empower.
Oh.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
to empower and to give the travelers ownership.
Okay.
So they aren't calling me at midnight saying they lost their luggage. And they feel like I did this. I
Mm.
can do this.
Yeah.
I worked with a family. A lot of my clients are busy moms and dads
Mm-hmm.
who don't have the time but want to do the trip.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm their coach and I'm their partner. I can do the behind the scenes research. I can do some resource gathering. I create the documents with links and things. We have our coaching sessions. I send them the information. I work virtually with people all over the country. And I send them the information, then they have time to look through the links. We can talk about what might meet their needs. I gather again, I get all the voices, all the travelers' voices. If they have a
Mm.
10-year-old that's going on the vacation with them, that 10-year-old is in our first call.
Oh, wow.
And if
That's
they have
rare.
a 21-year-old who's in college, that
Uh-huh.
21-year-old jumps on the first call,
Mm.
so that I can hear from them, so that mom and dad can hear from the kids. What do you
Uh-huh.
want to do on this vacation?
Wow.
Why do you want to travel? Because I had a turning point where I planned this great vacation as a mom. We do a lot of the planning and the organizing and things.
Sure.
And I planned this great vacation. My girls were 15 and 13.
Mm-hmm.
And middle of the vacation, major teen angst fits.
Oh, yeah, as one does.
Yes. And I was upset. My husband was upset. And we just sort of this just exploded for a day, only a day. I mean, we had a great vacation,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it was a moment.
Yeah.
And I came home and I was still a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
We came home from the vacation and just sort of pondering what happened. And it was interesting because I came to a realization that it was really my fault.
Mm.
And uh, and it was interesting because that realization helped me realize I didn't ask my teenage daughters what they wanted to do on vacation.
Yeah. They had no
I
ownership in it.
I made assumptions because we'd
Mm.
always had great family vacations and I always
Yeah.
planned these amazing things.
Of course you did. Yes.
And then they became older and they have voices and opinions, and
Mm-hmm.
it's only fair to listen to those.
Yeah.
So I bring all the travelers in on the first call. And some of the
Wow.
families I work with are like, "You want to do what?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's hear from your kids. Let's hear from your
Mm-hmm.
kids. What do they want?" And then don't interrupt them. Let them talk. And don't
Mm.
judge what they say. It's important that their voice is valued.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's such a great metaphor for life in general, just to teach that lesson that, you have a voice. It's okay to
Yeah.
use it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's the same. I feel like it's very similar to getting kids involved in cooking.
Yeah.
When they start making their own pizza, then I'm going to eat that thing.
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah. They pick an activity they want to do on the vacation.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to want to go on that vacation.
Oh, yeah.
They might not want to go to the museum mom and dad picked, but if they know that they get to zip line tomorrow,
yeah.
they'll accept the museum.
Yeah.
So we talk
Yeah.
about, I talk to the kids about flexibility and compromise on the calls.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so wise because, you've got to get everybody's buy-in on it. And
Mm-hmm.
if they're eh, not giving their voice to it, you
Yeah.
spend all this money, you do all this planning, you
Mm-hmm.
you take this big trip that you have these high expectations for. It's going
Yeah.
to be this family adventure, and then you have a moment like that can
Mm-hmm.
really derail. the whole trip if you let it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. A
wonderful.
lot of my clients will talk to me. The first call is everybody. And then there's that
Mm-hmm.
opportunity to bring them back in, depending on how many coaching sessions you want and everything. But then I work with mom
Mm-hmm.
and dad. We've heard the voices, we've got ideas. Now let's bring them
Mm-hmm.
back in. What do they want to do? But a lot of times I'll have the parents talk to me about cell phones. Well, all they
Oh.
want to do is sit on their phone. We're going to go on this amazing road trip through the mountains of Wyoming and the national parks, and they won't even see it. And it's like, well, let's talk about expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll have a call again, getting the whole family in and say, well, you're getting really close to departure. You leave in 2 weeks. Let's talk about expectations and ask the kids, how much do you want to talk to your friends while you're away? And let the parents listen. And
Mm-hmm.
then the compromise, the flexibility.
Oh, wow. I can just picture how valuable your
Mm-hmm.
teaching experience, your
Mm-hmm.
in classroom experience
Yeah.
was beneficial for you. Wow.
Yeah. And the bulk of my classroom teaching was fourth grade, fifth grade, and seventh grade.
Oh,
So
mm-hmm.
I do have that middle school,
Mm-hmm.
understanding, as well as upper elementary. From like 10 years old to 14 years old, I taught
Mm-hmm.
them. And
Yeah.
then my own daughters and the experience of traveling with them and figuring that out with them as they grew up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. It's
Can I
really,
can I go back wait a little bit too? I'm curious about your upbringing, going from place to place as a kid. Were
yeah.
you were you oh gosh, was it mostly domestic, or I know you went to Italy, but were there other countries that you were living in
It
as
was,
well?
yeah, no, it was mostly domestic. We
Okay.
were in Italy from my eighth grade to the middle of 11th grade. Our move was always in January, too. So I was always switching schools in the middle of the year.
Oh, what was that like?
Interesting. It was
Yeah.
something I got used to.
Okay. Uh-huh.
And the whole moving around helped our family stay connected. I
Yeah.
have a sister 3 years younger than me, and
Hmm.
mom and dad. And the four of us became such a tight unit because
Mm,
we were all each other had
you had to be. Yeah.
as we were moving around.
Mm-hmm.
And then, and I just, my father has passed away, but I credit him and thank him for giving me
Mm-hmm.
that, because
Oh,
that ability to adapt to a new environment,
uh-huh.
you had no choice.
Right.
The ability to talk to people and make new friends,
Uh-huh.
quickly, because who knows, that friend may have already been there for 2 years and they're leaving in a year,
Mm.
or they might be
Mm-hmm.
leaving in 3 months. And so it's like I had to learn how to put myself into a situation, always
Mm-hmm.
being the new girl. And
Mm-hmm.
then also on the flip side, welcoming people in who were the new
Mm.
people.
Mm-hmm.
Because everywhere we went, many times in the United States, we lived not on the military base. So we went to public high schools or public elementary schools,
Okay.
but they usually had a high military family
Right.
community because it was
Mm-hmm.
close to the base where my dad was stationed.
Mm-hmm.
In There were a few times where we went to the elementary school or a school that was on base, so it was all
Mm-hmm.
military people, and that was a lot easier to adapt because
Yeah.
every child in there and all the teachers understood.
Yeah.
I think it helped me as a teacher also, because I would have military families every now and then. I would also get new students. I knew how they felt. I could help
Mm.
them,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
then and work with the families, or if a family wanted to take their child out of school for a week to do an incredible vacation. So many people are like, oh, you can't do that. I'm like, go. When we lived in
Yeah.
Italy, it was encouraged in my high school. When your father
Wow.
went on a business trip to Germany, go with them.
Mm.
We were
Great
told
experience.
as students, go.
Mm.
And that was another piece. The 3 years in Italy, we never came back to the United States during that time.
Oh,
My
wow.
parents embraced being in Europe, and our relatives came to visit us,
Yeah.
and we just traveled and we hit all the European countries because, who knows if we
You
would get back
could.
again. Yeah, and we're there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. How did your parents like prepare you for all of that, the moving and going to Italy and all of that? How was that um, brought to you?
So the moving, reflecting back and thinking. I mean, I was born in New York and was living in Denver, Colorado by the time I was 1, and living in
Mm-hmm.
California by the time I was 3 and 4 and 5, where
Mm.
my sister was born, back to Ohio and that. So
So there's no preparing really. It's just the way you live.
I don't think it was my parents preparing me as much as, oh, we're getting ready to move again. Do you want to know where we're going?
Oh.
And when I was in middle school in Virginia when I knew the 3 years was coming up.
Uh-huh.
And he did involve me in the conversation. Now that I think about it, came home and said, well, I've been offered A, B, and C. One
Oh.
being Italy. I
Uh-huh.
think there was another European country that didn't sound as fun, and then something stateside. And
Okay.
he's like, I have a month to decide, but I will be sent, or we will be sent to
Uh-huh.
one of those 3 places. So let's talk. Where do we want to go? And we chose Italy. And so I finished 8th grade in Italy. 11th grade was where I moved, and those are formative years.
I wondered about that because just thinking back to my own experience, I wasn't going anywhere. My parents were farmer, in the
Yeah.
farming community, and we had kids come in, and I would just think it would be so difficult to leave your friends at a certain age, especially, like, okay, especially after 3 years in Italy, you've started to form some bonds now.
Oh, yeah. Our, well, it was interesting when I left in 8th grade, January of 8th grade, to move to
Mm-hmm.
Italy. It was exciting because, oh my
Mm-hmm.
gosh, we're going to Europe. We'd never been.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't as sad to leave. I was leaving very good friends.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't as sad because this incredible adventure.
Yeah.
And I knew that I was going to an American high school on the military base. So I
Uh-huh.
knew I would be going into an environment where everybody was like me. So that
Okay.
felt more
That
safe
helps.
in
Mm-hmm.
8th grade. It felt safe.
Yeah.
Um, but it was back then with cassette tapes. So one
You
of
made
my
each other
best,
mixtapes.
well, we sent each other talking tapes.
Oh,
My best friend and I from 8th grade,
yeah.
I went to Italy, and we would send back and forth. She would send me 2 hours of just her talking about everything that's going on. And
I
I would sit
love
with my
it.
Walkman on with my headphones on the front porch of my house in
Oh,
Italy,
you
listening
were
to her cassette tape.
podcasters before it was cool.
I know. Yeah. And I would send her back, and yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And coming back from Italy in 11th grade was a lot more difficult, like you said. Our high school class had like 75 people, very
Oh,
close.
you knew everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
And very active. Back then, there were no telephones in our houses, and we had no cell phones. So we had to make plans,
Oh,
and our parents had to drive us everywhere, but we had to make the plans before we left school.
oh,
And none of us were
oh,
driving.
no
It was,
independence.
oh, yeah, it was crazy. But I left that environment to come back to Fairfax County, Virginia, which is incredibly large. I went from
Populated.
75 people in my class
Uh-huh.
in Italy to, I think I graduated with like 400.
Wow.
And I was only
Mhm.
there for a year and a half.
Mm.
And so it was a different situation. Ironically, 2 people I knew in Italy during that year and a half ended up at my
Uh-huh.
high school
Oh,
in Virginia, because again, close
wow.
enough to military areas
Yeah.
that, you move in and you're there.
Mhm.
But that was probably the hardest transition, that 11th
Yeah.
grade.
I bet. I bet.
And I did it. I
Hmm.
didn't love the high school I graduated from, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Some of my best friends are still my friends from Italy, and we've seen each other in person, and we keep up with each other in social
Nice.
media. I don't have a lot of friends that I keep up with tightly from that last year and a half in school.
Hmm.
And then I went to college, and it was amazing, and then started teaching, and knew I wanted my girls to have a hometown.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So why were you excited to have them have a hometown knowing how much you loved what you did, moving around?
It's sort of a funny answer because
Mm-hmm.
I wanted them to be able to answer the question, where are you from?
Oh, wow.
People say, oh, where are you from? Where'd you grow up?
Everywhere.
How do I answer that? I grew
Right.
up, you know.
Yeah.
And when I met my husband, I'd already been teaching for about 10 years.
Uh-huh.
And I met my husband, and also a teacher in the same building I was in.
Mm-hmm.
And he had grown up in Pennsylvania
Okay.
and wanted to travel and wanted to see the world and wanted to do these things. And I'm like, okay, we're a good fit because you've had that hometown experience. I've had that
Uh-huh.
travel experience. We can provide both to this family that we want to create.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
fabulous.
And it's really, really neat. Both of my daughters, my 25-year-old now, they've both flown the nest. They are fully
Mhm.
independent, living on their own, doing amazing things. And my 25-year-old travels on her own now with her girlfriend.
Yeah.
They go out and they've been out to Wyoming and they've been to Maine and they've been to Italy, and just the two of them. And I've asked her, are you okay? What are you thinking? She's like, no, you taught me everything. I'm fine. Like, my job is done.
That's a really good feeling.
Yeah. My 23-year-old navigated 5 weeks in New York City all by herself on a work trip.
Oh, wow. 5
And
weeks.
5 weeks solo, New York
Mm.
City, going to work
Mm.
every day, but still.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you okay? And she's like, yeah, why wouldn't I be? I know how to ride subways. I know how to do trains. I know how to navigate. I know how to watch my surroundings. Like, okay,
Okay.
I've
Good
done my
job,
job.
Mom.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fun. And that's why when I retired, I really wanted to help other families, help other
Mm.
busy moms and dads. And I had a client who was a solo traveler. I helped her do a road trip up and down the East Coast. I've helped couples and just find that passion for travel,
Mm-hmm.
plan that trip.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's fun.
So when you're guiding someone who's come to you for help,
Hmm.
how do you navigate? How do you help them figure out where they want to go and what they want to do? Like what are some of the
Hmm.
things that you ask them?
Well, it's interesting. I have published 2 books, but
Nice.
the we start with that dream phase.
In case
You know,
somebody's just listening and not watching this on YouTube, what's the
Mhm.
name of your book?
So the book is called Dream Design Depart, and it's available on Amazon. And I have a second one. The Dream Design Depart is an interactive workbook. So it's where you can
Oh,
actually write in it. And you can, so that again, those multiple travelers getting everyone's voices. I
yeah.
break it down into, so why do you want to go on vacation? And then there's almost like a worksheet where
Okay.
mom wants to go on vacation because she wants to reconnect with her kids that are always so busy. Dad wants to
Mm-hmm.
go on vacation to get away from his job for a week, or, to have fun with the family and laugh.
Mm-hmm.
And then why does child one, child two, or brother in law, or sister in law, or grandma? And there's space for everybody to sort of put their answers in so that you can then have those conversations.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And there's a digital component. So if you have someone that's in college, or you're going to travel with your sister and brother-in-law and their kids and they live out in California, there's the digital website
Mm,
where they can fill out the pages from their side, and you can talk about it. So yeah.
fabulous.
Yeah.
Cool. I will put those links in my show notes too, so people can find them easily and
Oh, great. Yeah.
look up those
Yeah.
resources.
Because, and the second one is much shorter, but it's Design That Dream Vacation, and it's sort of a step by step in 12 months, how to, like, in months 12, 11, and 10, try to do these things.
Mm.
In months 9, 8, 7, before your vacation, try to do these
Uh-huh.
things. And it avoids that stress of, oh my God, we're leaving in a month and we haven't A, B, C, D, and E. It sort of gives
Uh-huh.
the tips and the tricks to plan a year out
Oh,
and avoid that stress.
oh gosh, that's
Yeah.
another really great resource. And I can
Yeah.
imagine too that it would also build this excitement for the trip.
Yes. Yes. That is exactly what my one of my goals in working with clients is to get everyone excited
Mm-hmm.
about the trip.
Mm-hmm.
In Dream Design Depart, the Depart section is full of just ideas of different things you can do to get everyone excited, all the way up to that family meeting a week before you leave, talking about expectations and needs and
Mm-hmm.
wants. But doing countdown chains, even how to make packing for a vacation something fun rather than
Mm-hmm.
something mom's pulling her hair out with, trying
Yeah.
to make sure everyone has what they need.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
What do you
But
mean your favorite shirt's not clean?
I know exactly. And but back to your question of what if they really don't know anything at the beginning about where they want to go?
Yeah.
That's the most fun because it's like, well,
Mm-hmm.
what do you like to do when you can, or how do you want a vacation? Oh, we just want to relax. Well, what what kinds of things do you like to do when you relax? And then someone else will say, I don't like to relax. I want to, go do fun things. Okay, what
Yeah.
kinds of fun things do you want to do? Well, I want to go hiking. Well, I want to lay on a beach. I want to find the best coffee shop. I want
Mm-hmm.
to find I'm a foodie. I want to find a great meal. So, hearing again, all the travelers on the call, hearing
Uh-huh.
all of those different things, I can then, with mom and dad's blessing, do some research. Sounds
Mm-hmm.
like you want something that might have some water and maybe a beach. You also might want some mountains. You also might want a cute little town close by with great restaurants and indie coffee shops. And and then it's, do you want to leave the country? Do you want to stay here? Do you want to drive? Do you want to fly? And it's really fun when they just, I don't know. And then we narrow it down.
Yeah. Yeah. Light bulbs start going off.
Yeah. And I've had clients say, I want to go to Wyoming. It's
Oh.
like, why? What do you want to do there? And then they're like, I don't know. I've just heard it's amazing. And so then we start talking, and so you get it. I work with all people who come with at all different stages of their vacation thinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Have you ever had a group come to you where they just are on opposite ends of the spectrum?
Yes. I'm thinking about a family who I met a mom at an event that I was speaking at. And
Mm-hmm.
she was talking about how she likes luxury hotels and foodie experiences. And her family, they're dreaming about Hawaii and Alaska, and they just can't decide on everything. She's like, the beach is fine, whatever, but I want the room service and I want the beautiful
Yeah.
hotel.
Yeah.
And she's like, my husband could stay in a yurt. He's fine. How can we even travel together? I love him. How can we do this? And they became clients. So the first call was the husband, the wife, and the young
Okay.
teenage daughter. And three of us were on the call because the three of them are planning the vacation. And so all we did that first call was just talk about,
Okay.
what do you want? And in Hawaii, Alaska, they're two very different places.
Yeah.
What do you want? What do you want to do? How do you want to feel when you come back? What's at the top of your dream list as far as this family vacation? And dad wanted history and experiences. Daughter wanted activities and
Okay.
fun things. Mom
Mm-hmm.
wanted luxury. We landed on Hawaii. And then and then I went and did research, and then we came back and talked about all the opportunities. And then it was, well, these are
Okay.
things you could do on this island and this island and this island and this island. And by the end of our second call, we had like a 7-day, no exact dates, but just a 7-day, day one, day two, day three, island
Mm-hmm.
hopping, different activities as tentative possibilities. They were ecstatic
Mm-hmm.
because all three of them had something in there. Oh my gosh. And when we go to this island, I can do this. And then we're going to go here and
Uh-huh.
I can. visit the Pearl Harbor stuff, and we can go here, and oh my gosh, look at that hotel we could possibly stay in.
Yeah.
And so that like you said, that excitement was starting. They're looking at next summer, maybe even beyond. But
Mm.
they wanted to start now in that dreaming piece, to be able to budget, to be able to look at what would this really cost us to go
Right.
for 7 to 10 days, and start having the conversations to get everyone on the
Mhm.
same page, or the same book, different pages within the same book.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, I can picture all of the different things that you'd be able to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. And that's what's fun, is helping families find those things, find something for everyone. So you don't have
Mhm.
the meltdowns. You have the family meeting before you leave. Remember, this day we're going here, and this day we're
Mhm.
going here. So we're all going to do this, and we're going to have fun doing this, because
Yeah, it's a
tomorrow we're all going to
mindset.
have fun doing this.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to step out of our comfort zone and do
Yeah.
something that's not necessarily on my list, but
Yeah.
it'll be fun no matter what.
And it was interesting. 2 years ago, I took my two girls. We just did a three girls trip to Las Vegas and Los Angeles.
Mm.
My youngest is a big city girl, and my
Uh-huh.
oldest is more nature. And
Okay.
she wanted to come along for the fun, because it was my youngest graduation trip and from college. And
Uh-huh.
so we had our family meeting, the three of us girls. And it's like, what do
Okay.
you want? And my oldest is like, I love independent bookstores. I
Mm.
want to find a bookstore in Las Vegas that's really fun, off the beaten path. I want to find a bookstore in Los Angeles that's really fun, off the beaten path.
Uh-huh.
My 21-year-old at the time was like, I want to have a cocktail at one of the fancy hotels on the strip and get all dressed up.
Uh-huh.
I want to walk the main boulevard in Los Angeles and just be a
Mhm.
tourist. My other daughter's like, ugh. Um, but it was great, because we had those conversations beforehand. We
Mhm.
planned things. My youngest had the best time in the bookstores that she didn't
Oh,
expect
wow.
to.
Well,
My
sometimes it's
oldest,
about that.
yeah, my oldest had so much fun dressing up all fancy and
Yeah.
going out, even though that's not something she does regularly. And it's because they listen to each other. We talked about, again,
Yeah.
the flexibility, the compromise. This is a trip for all of us. It is not just her trip
Yeah.
or my
Well,
trip.
and getting out of our comfort zone is difficult to do. We don't
Yes.
do it on our own, but when we're pushed to do it and you do it for some kind of, oh, okay, I'll do it, you know,
Yeah.
then you surprise yourself because you're having all this fun and you're really doing something new that you would never choose to do on your own.
Yeah.
And here
Yeah.
you are with the people that you love
Yep.
doing this thing,
Yep.
having an experience that you'll talk about forever.
Yes. Yes.
That's fantastic.
And that's the idea. A lot of the families that I work with, why do you want to go on vacation? To create memories.
Yeah.
Because we are so busy. We're so
Hmm.
pulled in so many different directions as moms and dads with big
Yeah.
kids, even, and kids away at college. I encourage families, keep traveling with your big kids, with your grandkids. Do those
Mm.
family trips, because those connections and those memories are what people hold on to.
Yeah. The experiences are,
Yeah.
in my opinion, so much more
Yes.
worthy than stuff and
Yeah.
money.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Hmm.
And that was why, I mean, I started budgeting for these giant vacations and figured out, how can we make it happen on two teacher salaries? Because
Hmm.
I want to make sure we can travel.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Wow. Okay. So,
Yeah.
what's another fun memory from a vacation that you remember?
There are so many. It's we have In fact, on Saturday, my husband and I are going back to our favorite place. Our 10-year anniversary trip was out to Wyoming for the first time, visiting Grand
Yeah.
Teton and Yellowstone National Parks. And we've been back probably 5 or 6 times since.
Okay.
The best part, and the girls will agree, some of the best memories have been the road trip parts. where there's no Wi-Fi or cell service.
Oh, just random
Yeah.
things,
We would
conversations.
make, when cars still had CD players, we would make CD playlists.
Ah,
And we would, and everyone before my husband left, that was his thing on all of these trips, is we would make a vacation CD. Each of us would put on 3 or 4 of our favorite songs. And then he would also find fun songs representative of the destination.
mm-hmm.
And listening to those CDs, we still have them all. And
Uh-huh.
the last few trips we've done, of course, the Spotify playlists or the
Of
Pandora
course.
playlists or something, but
Yeah.
creating a playlist for the
Okay.
road trip part of it, singing along in the
Mm-hmm.
car and laughing at the songs and having all those inside jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're traveling around national parks, your kids a lot of the time can't be on their phones
Uh-huh.
because there's
Oh,
no cell
wow.
service. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Well, and songs are memories, right? So
Mm-hmm.
when you hear any of those songs anywhere,
Oh, yeah,
anytime, I'm sure it takes you right back to that trip.
it does. And it's really funny because we will hear songs, and some of them were very trendy in the time. Some of
Mm-hmm.
them, again, were representative of the destination. So some like Willie Nelson song or something that my husband
Yeah.
found about traveling the mountains, and but we would listen to those songs, and when we hear them, even my husband or my daughter, oh my God, she'll text, I just heard that song that
Of
we sang at the
course.
top of our lungs
Yeah.
driving through Montana. Yeah, yeah.
Aw.
Mm-hmm.
Love. When, it's true of anything. When we engage our senses together in an experience, it's just implants more
Yeah,
deeply in us.
yeah, yep,
Oh.
yeah. It's really, I mean, I could talk forever about the value of the family vacation or just
Yeah.
traveling in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We travel with a group of friends fairly regularly that
Mm-hmm.
we used to work together in the old traveling vineyard days with Judy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that group, that friend group, we travel with a lot of them like every year or every other year at least. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just so important. As the older we've gotten, I think our friendships have grown so much deeper
Yeah.
and supportive of each other and just,
Mm-hmm.
accepting of all of our, because everybody's got something, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
exactly.
accepting of all of us and being together is just more important and having those
Yeah.
experiences together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
It's been about 2 years, maybe not, maybe a year and a half since we've had a solid family vacation. The 4 of
Mm.
us, and with my daughter's girlfriend, the 5 of us.
Uh-huh.
And because as my husband and I have started doing things on our own, my girls have been traveling on their own. And so my husband and I are going to Wyoming. We are then going on an African safari in November with my mother, one of her friends, and his aunt from Pennsylvania. After that, we have a few other short things planned. And then I told my girls, I'm like, I want to do something with all of us again. It's been a
Mm-hmm.
while. My daughter's a classroom teacher, so we would have to do summer or spring break for her. So
Mm-hmm.
we planned, and my other daughter is like, well, it has to be something with like a city or a big town with lots of things. I don't want to go to a national park again. I get a voice, I have an opinion.
There you go.
And so we actually settled on Key West. I've been there before. It's a
Oh,
very busy place. It's also
yes.
got some nature, some beaches, snorkeling.
Yes.
And so we're flying into Miami. We're renting a car. We're all piling in, doing the 100-mile
Oh.
overseas highway down to Key West and just spending 4 days together in an Airbnb
Mm.
connecting.
So much
And
to look forward
that's,
to.
it is. And that was something my husband and I, are very grateful for what we have and our health and our wellness. And that
Mm-hmm.
now we're both retired and we can do that.
Yeah.
And we can
Yeah.
take these trips and enjoy them, and our daughters are independent and doing amazing things and still want to travel with us also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so super fun. Our sons are adults and out of the house. We have 3 grandbabies too. So
Mm-hmm.
uh and they're, all over, but hanging out with them and just talking,
Mm-hmm.
enjoying each other's company, having this
Mm-hmm.
conversation is just so
Yeah.
Warms my heart.
It really is. And that's why I encourage, don't give up on the family vacations just because your kids are now doing travel sports or going to college or have
Right.
moved out of the house. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
those are even better vacations with
Oh,
younger
yeah.
kids. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Hmm.
Okay. So one of the things I like to ask to wrap things up kind of is, do you have a favorite cocktail or glass of wine? What do you like to drink?
Yes. I thought about that because I knew that that was
Yeah.
part of the
My
conversations
shtick.
you've had.
Yeah.
One of my favorite cocktails is a good whiskey sour, just a really
Oh,
solid, good whiskey sour.
okay.
And the memories of that are crazy because it goes back to probably before I was even 21. And we
Yeah.
would visit my grandparents, and my uncle would make me a whiskey sour. I
Oh.
was like 20 years old, maybe I was 21.
There's
And
one in
then,
every family.
and it just became that drink that, oh, I like this. This is good. And now my 25-year-old also, well, when she comes home, she's like, I'm going to make you a really good whiskey sour.
Oh,
And so
so
that's like we
sweet.
cheers at Christmas time with
Yeah.
everyone has their own favorite cocktail and she makes
Yeah.
them all for everybody. Yeah.
Oh, nice. She's a
Yeah.
mix master, a drink
Yeah.
master.
She enjoys doing that for her friends. Yeah.
Okay. Now, is that the younger daughter that just
The older
graduated?
one,
The older one.
the
Okay.
25-year-old. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. She enjoys experimenting with food, experimenting with different fancy drinks. My 23-year-old just loves to go find the fancy drinks.
Oh, yes. Okay. Be served the fancy drinks.
She likes to
I
pick
get that.
the most interesting one that's fruity and sweet on the menu
Oh,
and try
yeah.
it.
I think we go through that phase.
Mhm. Yep. Yep.
Your palate kind of dries out as you get older and try
Yeah.
some new things.
Yeah. But yeah, I was thinking and I'm like, what are my cocktail memories? And it's like that
Yeah.
drink has a series of different memories.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Very cool. And from even your uncle, okay, drunkle,
Yeah.
and,
And my grandparents. Yep.
and your
Cocktail
grandparents.
hour
Yeah.
was a big thing at my grandparents' house. When we would
Okay.
go visit them in northern New York, cocktail
Uh-huh.
hour, you dressed. You did not speak unless spoken to as a child. And it was a very fancy, that was their culture.
Tell me more about that. That's
It,
really
yeah, it was very
fancy.
interesting. I mean, they were both born in 1910.
Okay.
So they, of course, they've passed, but so that generation,
Yeah.
and they were a very, I guess I could say, sort of upper class, where they
Okay.
lived in their community and everything, and the house they
Mm-hmm.
lived in, and so that was sort of our
Okay.
home away from home. That was my landing spot. My grandparents,
Oh, sure.
I was always moving around, but my grandparents
Yeah.
always had the big house.
Okay.
And we would get to wear fancy party clothes and go have fun in their big house.
Mm.
And as I grew up, cocktail hour was always something that you dressed. We might be out swimming or on the St. Lawrence River, but you came back, you showered, and you dressed for cocktail hour and dinner.
Oh,
And even as a 10-year-old, you dressed. And then the
okay.
big dining room and everything. It was,
Wow. It's a
and
little Downton Abbey.
yeah, I loved it. I did. I loved it because it was so different from the way I was growing up with
Well,
my family,
yeah.
traveling around the country or the world with mom and
Mm.
dad. They had this bar that was amazing, and it's now in my mother's house. And my 25-year-old has already claimed it when the time
Ah,
comes.
yeah.
Um, but they had this bar that you opened up and it had all the decanters and everything, and it was
Yes.
very, very classy. And
Mm-hmm.
finally, I was old enough to have cocktail hour, and I'm like, I don't know what drinks I'm supposed to drink. And that's why my
Uh-huh.
uncle's like,
Yeah.
I'll make you a
Let me
whiskey
show you.
sour. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So they would make their drinks too, or did they have the like what are we talking
They
here?
did have people to help them, but no, the
That's what I
cocktail hour
wondered.
was all them.
Okay. So they didn't have a
They
bartender come
had
in
a cook
or
who helped with
okay.
dinner. They had a maid who was there and did all the cleaning and housekeeping. But no,
Uh-huh.
cocktail hour was truly open up the bar
Okay.
and make the drinks and enjoy
Wow.
and catch up.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, that very historical that, that you
Yeah.
hear about the families of previous generations having
Right.
cocktails.
Mm-hmm.
We did.
Yeah. So
Whenever we
interesting.
visited, you did that.
Wow.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. We do that, but it's much less formal.
Yes. Yeah. Have a drink before dinner. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So fun. Hmm.
Happy hour. We have a home in Florida as well, where, we're very close to where Judy lives.
Hmm.
And happy hour is kind of a thing there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know of anyone who, does it formally, like dresses for it and does the
Yeah. Yeah.
interesting.
No,
That would be fun to do with some neighbors.
it was the expectation. And if friends came over, they're the people they associated with, the dear, dear family friends that my mother grew up
Yeah.
with. My mother grew up in the big house. And the dear friends that they grew up with, they came over for dinner or something, they were dressed. It was expected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you say that you dressed for the occasion,
Mhm.
what kind of dress are we talking about? What kind of attire would you wear?
Honestly, and this sounds absolutely crazy, but my father was in a coat and tie.
Really?
Yeah. And we were in, I mean, growing up, it was so
Uh-huh.
fun to pick out our fun dresses that we were going to wear at my grandparents'
Wow.
house when we visited.
So it
And
wasn't
as a
just like, okay, you've been
teenager,
playing outside and all sweaty and stuff, you go get cleaned up. It's more like, okay, it's
yeah,
more
put on your dress.
formal.
Yeah, put on your dress.
Oh,
Yeah, we're not talking black tie, but
yeah.
definitely, I mean, my grandfather was in a coat and tie every
Oh,
night for dinner. He might have been
wow.
in a polo shirt and a pair of khakis during the day or a pair of shorts
Uh-huh.
out on the river. They had a boat on the St. Lawrence,
Uh-huh.
but we would come back and clean up and dress for dinner.
Wow.
Christmas Eve dinner was a huge event.
Oh, I bet.
Uh-huh. Christmas Day
Uh,
dinner, after opening
mm-hmm.
presents in your pajamas all day and having fun, you went and changed for dinner.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Wow.
They had a housekeeper who came in who was family.
Yeah.
Irene, I grew up with her as
Mm.
family. I mean, I was so excited. I would wake up at 10 years old, or 7 years old, and sit in the window waiting for her to drive up at 7 o'clock in
Uh-huh.
the morning to give her big hugs and hang out with her until
Oh.
everyone else woke up. And then they had a cook, Mary, who for years would show up around 5 o'clock every evening and cook
Yeah.
dinner.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
It's fascinating to me. That's
Yeah,
just an
yeah,
amazing story.
yeah. I was very excited that my husband got to meet them. And by the time my first daughter was born, my grandfather passed when I was pregnant with her, but my grandmother
Mm.
was still alive, and unfortunately, she had dementia. But we do have pictures of my oldest pushing her in a
Uh-huh.
wheelchair up and down the driveway of the big
Oh.
house and everything. So, I
Aw.
mean, yeah, very cool.
Yeah. So, that big house, was that in or near the Finger Lakes region then? It
It
must have
was
been, if
about,
it's near Syracuse.
yeah, Watertown, New York. So,
We're
yeah.
having wine camp. I don't know if Judy told you anything about that, but I
Mm-mm.
do a retreat every year for ladies who
Oh,
wine.
fun. Uh huh.
Yeah, and we're going to the Finger Lakes region in 2026.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's close. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. They're
yeah.
more in the snow belt
Up
area.
north farther. We're kind of
Yeah.
at the
Way
southern
north.
tip
Yeah.
of Seneca Lake, I think is where our
Yeah, they are way northern New York.
okay.
Yeah. Very fun.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wonderful though. What memories you have.
yeah. And it's been neat because that was my home base. And I've had
Mm-hmm.
fun sharing it with you because, where did you grow up all over the world?
Yeah.
What are your best memories growing up? Always knowing I had my
Mm.
grandparents' house in New
Oh,
York.
nice.
That was comfort also. That was, and
Yeah.
we would, aside from the 3 years in Italy, we would see them, we would go up there like twice a year at least, and they would see
Okay.
us wherever we lived. But always knowing, even as a college student, I didn't mind leaving all my friends and going up to New York to spend Christmas with my grandparents. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Oh, you're the best of both worlds.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Mm.
So fun.
Laura, this conversation has been amazing. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So fun. Thank you for having me.
That's a wrap on this episode of Penny for Your Shots. If you loved today's conversation, don't let the inspiration stop here. Get my weekly insider updates straight to your inbox. It's where I spill behind the scenes goodies, exclusive tips, and all the fun stuff I don't always share on the podcast. Sign up now at pennyforyourshots.com/insider. I'll see you in your inbox next Thirsty Thursday. Cheers!